Have you ever wondered what actually transpires between your browser, the search engines, and the various bots? Have you ever asked yourself what actually happens between your browser and your code, your HTML code? So welcome to this video. In here, I would like us to explore a particular aspect of our HTML code which allows us to interact through our code with the browser, search engines, and the bots. So it is a particular part of our HTML code which is usually neglected by learners or even sometimes by instructors because the part seems not to be considered as important as it is supposed to be. So in this video, I would like us to look at the particular tag called the head tag. You might have met this tag several times. You might have written it several times, but in general, what you do is once you have the head tag, then you add your title tag and so. So I'll just make it short, something like this. Then when you are done, you probably write the meta char set, which sets the character, and then you are good to go. So in general, that's what you will be taught to do, and you are done with the head part. So what I usually say is that the head part or the body part of our HTML seems to be long. So you usually have the head part, which is as short as it is, and then you have the body part, which is very long, which contains so much content. So the idea is whatever we write between the body tag and the body tag, so body starts here and then closes here, and the head starts here and closes here. So whatever happens in the body tag is what our users usually see, such as these blue squares, which represents the layout of our final web page. But whatever happens in the head is not usually seen, and that's one of the first characteristics of the head tag. So I went on to write an article recently on it, which is the importance of the HTML head element. So I will urge you to go through and read a bit deeper on me dissecting this aspect of the document. But in here, I would like to go through explain some of these aspects already. So in the characteristics, I mentioned that the head tag is per section and unique for each page. So what it means is every single web page you click on the web you browse, every single page actually has one head tag inserted in it. So that's what this characteristic is actually saying. Every single page, no matter how many pages your website has, if you have thousands, billions, every single one of them must have one single head tag within it. So the next thing is that whatever is written in the title, which is in the head tag, sorry, is not actually in general visible to the users. That's why in my introduction I asked if you knew what actually happens or transpires between the search engines, your website, and then the bots. So because whatever actually is written in the head tag is not actually visible for the human beings, but it is meant for the search engines, bots, and browsers. And by bots here, I mean they are kind of special programs and that kind of come and read your website code for various purposes. So one of these cases you could usually see is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So whenever you share a page of your website on any of these websites, they kind of fetch the page and read anything that is within the head tag. So the same thing the search engines do, they come, they pick your page, and then they read anything that is in the head tag. So they actually take instructions from whatever is written in the head tag. So the same way, the browser, while it renders your web pages, while it is interpreting your HTML code, it also reads whatever is in the head tag and tries to find out if there is any instruction on how it should proceed in rendering your page or it should behave whenever it faces your page. Some of these examples is when we write in the head tag, usually after the title tag, when we write meta. So let me make this slimmer. When we write meta, and we set the name as car set, meta car set, sorry. We add the property of car set and we write UTF, so equals to, allow me to go here, we write that it is UTF-8. So this is an instruction that actually tells the browser that from this moment on, interpret all the characters in this page as UTF-8 character encoding principle, or using UTF-8 character encoding principles or rules. So this is an instruction. There's also this instruction we usually see, which is the meta again, and it goes like HTTP equivalent. So it's HTTP equi, so HTTP dash EQ UIV. So, and this attribute usually takes the value of refresh, for example, refresh, and then after the value refresh, and we set the duration, the content. So after this we set the content, and the content we usually set a timing, so equals to, let's say, 30. So what we are saying through this is that the browser should take the instruction, which is a similar instruction to what an HTTP request would look like, or HTTP response would look like from a server, and then that request, that response is to refresh the page, and how often? Every 30 seconds. So the browser will take this instruction and just start refreshing the page every 30 seconds. So these are sample examples of instructions that you can write in your HTML document or your HTML head, within the HTML head tag, to give instructions to the browser. So next, from my articles on this website, I also went on to build a sample page. So if you are on the page, you can click on demo here and it will take you to the sample page. This is the sample page. This sample page is simply a bare HTML document, but in which I took my time to apply as many content possible in the head tag to be able to make this page kind of chewable for the various search engines and the browsers. So to be able, the whole goal is to be able to make the website or the page indexable or findable for the search engines and various robots. So that's one aspect, and the second aspect is to be able to make it easily shareable. So I went on to browse it. I used this website, opengraph.xyz. I'm not sponsored, I'm just using it. I just searched and I found the service and it is useful to me. So you just bring the URL in and it shows you how the page will look like when you are sharing it on various social media, and that's what we call the open graph element. So for example, here at the right side here, you can see how it will look like on Facebook. So you see this image is set in the head tag, and here we have the title and then the description, then how it is going to look like on Twitter as well. So we have the image, and here on LinkedIn and Discord, and how they are going to look like. So all this is actually set, all the instructions on whatever content and how the content will be displayed is set in the head tag. It is very important for search engines, and also, as we can see here on these various social media platform, it is very important for aesthetic and marketing purposes. So if we don't pay attention to whatever is needed to achieve such things when we are building websites, we might miss out a lot. So let's dive in the code to see what exactly we put in that page to be able to achieve such things. So this is the page here, and we can see in the first place I have the doc type, the HTML tag, and so on, but we are interested in the head tag. So let me try to fold this and get space. So in the head tag, I came in to put my title tag, and you can see that title tag right here. So that's the title tag we are seeing here. It is premeditated. I actually planned it, so you have the chance of setting these titles, and it's very important to get them right to match the content that is in the web page so that it is not deceiving the search engines. So the next thing is we accept the character set, which is here using the meta char set and so on. And then I went on to add many meta tags for the viewport, the author, the title, the description, and so on. So depending on the various tools you use to inspect the page, they might give you all these details. And what these sites do, so this is an idea for you to be able to build a website like this website that actually inspects websites and then gives them SEO advice, SEO tricks to be able to improve their search engine optimization. So you just have to fetch the site and analyze these various tags we have in the head tag. So I added so many meta tags and so on. So one thing I want you to realize, and because there's a lot here as you look at it, but it's not that much. It is actually grouped in terms of categories. So in the article, I made mention of the various parts of the head tags. So usually in the official term, these parts or these things that are in the head tag are actually called the metadata elements. So there are different groups in the metadata elements. So the first element in the metadata is the title element, as we already used to it. And the title, I also went on to specify the rules of the title and how we can use it, including the rules on using the head tag itself and how we can omit some of the parts and so on. So you can read this article to see that. So then the other part is the meta tags. So as you can see in this example, you can see this area after the title, you can see meta, and so on. And it goes on. The meta are many. So after the meta element, we have the linking element. So these are the linking elements. So these linking elements are usually used to help us link the HTML page, the web page, to various resources, either inside the actual website, the same website, or outside the website, or external links in general, or resources like images or icons and so on. So depending on the need, depending on the web page and whatever you are trying to achieve, you might come up with so many link elements or with so many meta elements and so on. So and my goal on this article was to have the body tag smaller, and you can see I'm trying to have a small element, I'm trying to have small content in the body element, but more content in the head element, and you can see the head content is so large. So I actually wanted to show this possibility of you having the head tag larger to show how important this area could be compared to whatever is here. And I think as a business person, or if you are building something where you care about people finding it on the internet, you would like to spend so much time in this head element in preparing whatever is necessary to get it ready and so on. So apart from these groups of you having the title, the meta elements, the linking, we could also have embedded CSS or embedded JavaScript. So we can also include JavaScript or CSS, internal CSS, or external CSS or external JavaScript. So this element, this section is the scripts or the style element. So basically what I'm trying to say is, in the metadata elements, we have the title, right? We have the title. Let me use a different color. So we have the title element, we have the meta element, then we have the link element, we have the script element, we have the star element. So for this star and the script, it can be embedded or external. So there's also an element that is called base. So that element is Strange enough, I have not experimented much with it, but it actually helps you to set a base URL for the page. So, and then it's a bit tricky because it has to be the first element in the meta data elements. So if you are to use the base, it has to come before any other elements. So basically, these are the groups of elements you could see in the head tag, and it doesn't mean they have to be used once. As you could see, the meta element can be used in many ways. The linking can be used in many ways, and the script can be used in many ways, styles as well. The only thing that has to appear once and only once is the title element. Very important to notice that it only would appear only once, nothing else. We can do twice. So, and also you could see that based on whatever the result we have here, you can see that even if you write tags in the head element, they are not being interpreted. They just show up as it is. So the title element does not interpret the tags. Whatever you write, it appears plain as it is. So it is very important you notice, you take note of that. And I purposely made it here because I wanted to show you that. Otherwise, in normal sense, it wouldn't make sense to have that tag in the less than sign and greater than sign, because people don't search usually by writing the full tag with a less than and greater than sign. So they would usually search the HTML head as in plain head word head tag. So it is very important that you think about these aspects of things when you are building your web pages. So I just wanted to call your attention on this aspect of the HTML head tag, and hope that you now consider it very seriously in your next project. So do not hesitate to go to the article, read it, and pick up some ideas again, and then make up your own references of reading more about it, and consider it in your next project to make your website look great. And go take your time to explore the LandSport website metadata we use, and helping ourselves in the search engine optimization as well, so that you can learn something from it. Or if you have something you could do to make it great, that would be a great thing. So please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to support us. Give it a thumbs up. Support us by sharing with others. Thank you, and see you in our next lesson.